K. Chopin's Biofolk in 1894, which was a collection of stories about life in Louisiana, gave her national recognition. She also wrote about women's ambitions, adultery, and suicide in The Awakening. Emily Dickinson's work emerged in 1886. She has been titled as one of America's greatest lyric poets.
How dreary to be somebody, how public, like a frog, to tell your name the livelong dune to an admiring bog.
Charles Dana Gibson created the romantic ideal of the Gibson girl. Mary Baker Eddy founded the Christian Science Church, and she said that the practice of Christianity could heal illness. Darwinian feminists like Antoinette Brown Blackwell, Eliza Burke Gamble, and Helen Hamilton Gardner believed evolutionary science proved that women were not inferior to men, that it was natural for mothers to work outside the home, and that women should control reproduction. Victoria Woodhull publicly proclaimed her belief in free love. Along with Tennessee Claflin, they published Woodhull and Claflin's Weekly and shocked everyone with the fact that the respectable preacher Henry Ward Beecher had been carrying along a 4-year-long affair.
I'm a free lover, having an inalienable constitutional and national right to love whom I may, to love as long or short a period as I can, to change that love every day if I please. Sex!
Along with the Great Railroad Strike of 1877, women in St. Louis, Chicago, and New York marched to demonstrate a fear for another revolution. Labor leaders later tried to use these protests to show that the Capitol would justify the use of any means to break up Union power.
We won't stand for this injustice. No. No means no. Strike!
Settlement houses provided a home for poor immigrants. They offered food, shelter, and basic education. Jane Addams organized the first settlement house, the Hull House, in 1889. Many women involved in the settlement house movement were also fighting for women's suffrage and equal rights for all people.
Hi, here's a home-cooked meal. Now let's learn some English. English? Okay. A is for apple. Apple. B is for baby. Wait, Bobby?
For women, dressing properly showed your importance, rank, and wealth. Women had high expectations for dress, and dress styles were fancy, over-the-top, and usually uncomfortable. With the new woman idea, fashion became more practical. Parasols and hats were popular accessories. Shoes were still most commonly small heels. Corsets were very popular, but they became looser and less restrictive when women started being involved in more activities.
Sports! I can't hit it too hard.
Papa Wheelie!
Many women thought problems in political leaders could be because of alcohol. They were in favor of prohibition to decrease domestic violence, prostitution, and save money. The Women's Christian Temperance Union, led by Frances Willard, advocated prohibition against alcohol. Carrie Nation went around destroying bars with a hatchet. The femme sole idea was created at this time and allowed an unmarried woman to own property and make contracts in her own name.
Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Stanton, and Lucy Stone's national women's suffrage groups advocated for women's right to vote. They also fought for women's rights within marriage, female health care, higher education, and for equal rights in the workplace.
The Young Women's Christian Association offered physical and religious-based education. YWCA, we gotta stay at the YWCA.
Mary Elizabeth Lease was an American lecturer, writer, and political activist. She was an advocate of the suffrage movement as well as temperance movement, but she was best known for her work with the Populist Party. The creation of the typewriter and telephone switchboards propelled women into industry with jobs such as stenographers and hello girls. For middle-class women, careers meant delayed marriages and smaller families. Working women worked out of economic necessity and not for independence or glamour. Numbers of working women went from 2.6 to 8.6 million during the Gilded Age. The International Ladies Garment Workers Union led a strike against New York sweatshops for unequal pay and unfair conditions.
Operator, hello, how can I direct your call? Have a good day, thank you.
McKinney Campaign Headquarters, Chicago, 1896. Those few Americans who would exercise their right to vote in 1890 still remained faithful to the party of Lincoln.
Women in most of the United States still did not have the right to vote. Colorado, Idaho, and Utah were the only states to pass rights for women's vote before the 1900s, but some territories also allowed women to vote. Women are not able to request recognition at this time or protection of their basic liberty rights.
Women were paid less for the same work. Way less.
Women still had limited opportunities in education.
No. I'm just seeing if something weird happens. Pop a wheelie!
You filming her?
Bobby?
Jana. To an admiring bog.
Thank you, Emily Dickinson.
Skirt!
I'm trying.
Fix the pants!
Shut up.
Sexy!
You filming right now?
Yeah.
You can't do this in skirt.
Good job, Gibson girl.
You gotta yell support.
Wait, what was the name of the company that directed calls?
I don't know.
Be like, operator.
Just answer the damn phone.
Blah 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 Cleveland.
Are you a man?
You just throw everything off.
Yeah, just start stripping.
Sex!
Okay, go.
But you gotta bring your arm up.
Go.
Yeah, okay. YWC.